We will now be enforcing the agreed upon interest to your total loan. Monthly interest has been applied. Whatever, dude. Never tell me the odds. Dude, I forgot how clean. Dude, am I crazy or does this look amazing? Am I... like, something, I'm like, it looks better than Warzone. What's happening? I'm loving life right here. This looks beautiful, dude. This looks better than my... Well, it doesn't look better than my real house. Come on, but it's not bad. All right. So we were in the middle of ordering as many drywall 4s as we could get. And we'll keep it rolling here. We got, I mean, Mouth finished the game on Saturday on his stream. So I don't think we're too far off because we were pretty much at the same spot. Hello. Hello. All right. So we want as many 4s as possible. Let me look at this for a second. Malf also does 12-hour streams. Well, that's what he wants you to believe, but he only did 11 hours last Saturday. Lazy. 4-4. 4-4. That's 4 4s. 6 4s. I think we can only order 10 at maximum. We only need 7, though. Oh, I tried to run through the door like it's Warzone, dude. I tried to bust the fucking door down. Let me in. Alright. Plasterboard. 4s. 4 per order, 2 orders max. 2 orders max? Are you insane? I love Mouth, but I would watch him more if it weren't so time intensive. Here's the thing. That's not a Mouth problem. That's a you problem. You've got FOMS, which is the fear of missing streams. Mouth's stream is a stream, especially on Saturdays. You don't have to show up at, you know, right when it starts, and you don't have to stay there the whole time. You know, my shows, we've got, you know, narrative and inside jokes that are building upon other inside jokes. You know, if you miss something, you're out. You're never going to come back. Malv's stream is a little bit more like, it's like a late night talk show. Nobody's like, oh no, dude, I missed an episode of Conan O'Brien. Now I'm not going to know what the monologue's about tomorrow. It's, you know, there's positives of both sides. I'm leaving him here for sure. Okay, hold on. We need 4s. There's a 4 there. You line it up with the ceiling, and you line it up with the wall. You line it up with the ceiling, you line it up with the wall. Then you get this thing. Great title, bud. Thank you. I was thinking about what to put on the title. And, any percent Robless run. It just came to me in a moment of genius. That is, well, that's like, a lot of my Saturdays are like that, too. Like, I usually wake up, like, an hour before Kate, and I'll come down and, like, set my videos. And while I'm setting my videos, I put on the Mouth stream, and Mouth's, like, usually still at the point where he's just having, like, a conversation with his chat. And then, you know, maybe he gets to play in the start of whatever game he's gonna play first, and then, you know, Kate will wake up, and we'll go... Well, not over a quarantine, but like, you know, in the before times, we could like go get some brunch or something like that. Maybe do some gardening, come back in a few hours, and then Mouth's on his second game. And I pop in and I say, who sharded? And he goes, pee-pee tiddly. And then, you know, maybe I'll play some Warzone while he's playing Warzone, and it's like we're playing together. It's a good time. You can dip in and out. Favorite brunch food? I'm gonna hit you with 2, because I can't decide on just one. I like, I did see that, but I like savory waffles, i.e. like a Belgian waffle, but with like, you know, like salmon or something. Salmon, dill, creme fraiche, something like that. And I like, I like a classic breakfast as well. You know, like your 2 eggs, toast, and hash browns with your choice of breakfast meat. You don't want to go there, huh? You would love Swedish breakfast? Don't even get me started. The Nordic countries have the best breakfast. I love meat, fish, bread for breakfast. I love pickled cold foods for breakfast. I'm all about that. I'm all about it. Going to like breakfast buffets, or like in a hotel in Iceland, there'd be like a breakfast buffet. I loved it. I loved it. I got no problem with British breakfast. I can get down with a bacon buddy. I don't really like baked beans though, and I don't like blood pudding. I've had it, but I like the other parts. I just don't like the beans. I don't like the blood pudding. Okay, love you. Oh. Most Brits don't like it either. I understand. We got stuff like that in Canada, I'm sure. I feel like that at Oh, son of a gun, dude. I feel like that at Thanksgiving all the time. Like at Thanksgiving, like you get cranberry sauce and then one person eats it. But you gotta have it. If you don't have it, people are like, it's not Thanksgiving without cranberry sauce. And then you're like, do you guys want cranberry sauce? And they're like, nah, it's not my scene. It's not to the wall because you gotta put a 6 there, you fools. You put a 6 on this one. Not true, but I get it. It's, allow me to say it, it's hella true. At least at my, like, grandma's Thanksgiving, there's like 3 dishes that only one person eats. Like, they give you the choice of mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes, or both. One person takes sweet potatoes. Cranberry sauce, no cranberry sauce. One person takes cranberry sauce. But, you know, the one year that I went to my grandma's Thanksgiving when I was a vegetarian, I brought samosas. So maybe I'm not the greatest authority on what you should be eating for Thanksgiving. There you go. Mashed potatoes are the only kind I don't like. Have we found somebody who doesn't like mashed potatoes? My wife is the same. I would, honestly, I feel like mashed potatoes are probably pretty close to the most well-liked food on the planet. I don't know specifically if they're number 1. Fries might be higher, but I honestly think like mashed beat fried, or beat fries, I should say, most of the time. For me. But I honestly think fries are like, they're good, don't get me wrong. And if you got some, I'll be like, can I have one? And then I'll eat like 8 of them. But I think fries are also like one of the most overrated foods. Anytime I'm at a restaurant and I'm like, I should get a salad, but fries are delicious. By like the 6th fry, I'm like, I really wish I just got the salad. The salad, you know, it's better for you. You feel better after you eat it. And a lot of the time, it just tastes better. Like the first few fries, you can't compete with. They're delicious and sinful. But like, they give you like 100 fries. By the time you get to fried like 25, you're like, this is enough. Okay. Okay, all of our 4s are done. Get out of here. He's gone already. Okay. How do you feel about wedges? A good wedge is better than a fry. However, The problem with wedges is, like, if they're cut unevenly, some of them are overcooked. I actually think an overcooked wedge is totally fine. It's nice and crispy. But the undercooked wedges are like... I still like them because they're potatoes, but they're not for me. Get out of here. Okay, hold on. How much money we got? 22 pounds sterling. We still need an order of 4s, but I think those are our last 4s. We need 4 4s. I think we actually need 3, but... Wait, no, you're not a 4. That's a 1. Hold on. Hold on. I think we need 2 4s? 1, 6, 7. 4. Okay, so we need 1 4, 2 4s. You need 4 4s? Ah, 4 4. You're right. Okay, hold on. 4 4. 4 4. We need 4 4s. Got it. One more order of 4s. SMB3 Goblet was so pog today. I haven't watched anybody else's perspectives yet, but like, get ready for day 5. Dude, get ready for freaking day. Oh my god. Which is actually day 12. You're gonna lose your mind. You're gonna lose it. I see people's estimates of like what our score is gonna be. And they're like, he definitely scored like more than 15 runs. And I'm like, you're not even close. Honestly. I'm not going any further. I'm not gonna spoil anything. But 15? Who do you think I am, Dan? Come on. Come on, Jack. I can make fun of Dan. I've got a bone to pick with Daniel. The man, we had a great Warzone session yesterday. I'm not trying to salt anybody up. It went very well. But I guess I am trying to salt Dan up a little bit. Nothing tilts me more than dying in the gulag. I'll live with this. And then having Dan go, "Are you dead?" It plays a sound when your teammate dies. It plays a sound when they die in the gulag and changes their icon. And then to have him force you to say, "I'm dead," is like... Or... when I buy him back and he thanks somebody else, I'm like, come on, man. He's trying, though. I do think he's trying. I think he's trying to dial. He bought the merch. I'm not mad. I'm just, you know, that's my actionable piece of feedback. It's just, it's a frustration to die twice and then have someone go, "Are you dead?" And then you're like, "Yes, I'm dead." It was a good stream, though. No, Ferris wheel isn't up on the talk yet, but it's gonna go on the talk. I'm sure, like, I'm gonna get called a camper for landing on top of the Ferris wheel. But, you know, that's the Zoomers. The Zoomers, they give it, they taketh away. I think we're gonna have some good talks this week, but the one I put up today was not good. I've never seen a talk die faster. It was the one where we're playing Dark Souls 2, and I'm like relaxed. My character's relaxed, and I go, "This is me," and then I clench my fist like Arthur, and I go, This is me at the bank when the boomer in front of me won't answer the screening questions. People did not like that one. People were not, they were not pleased. That did not resonate. You can go. You had to be there. Dude, I'm here to tell you, again, I know I said it the other day. Like, TikTok is fun. It's a nice place to put clips. But if you ever want to lose faith in the next generation, which is not fair, because we were the same when I was that age, and most of us got over it. But if you ever want to lose faith in the next generation, scroll on the For You page until you get a political TikTok, and then read the comments. You'll lose it, dude. You'll be like, I didn't know that these people existed. Hold on, we need a lot of ones. 1, 1. Just let me do it, okay? 1, 1. 1. 3 ones. 4 ones. 4 ones. Just 4 ones? Six ones. 6 ones. Okay, okay, okay. One time I made a TikTok and it got over 1 million views. That's incredible. What was your TikTok? The type of stuff that can go super viral on TikTok is amazing. Some incredibly smart stuff can go viral, and some of the dumbest shit you've ever seen will go viral. So there's really, like, we're running the gamut. It was a how-to drop shipping. It was a 15-year-old kid in his mom's basement making a talk about Tesla stock and saying it doesn't go down. It just doesn't go down. It's the easiest money I've ever made. I own 4 shares and I'm killing it. These things are friggin' huge. They're friggin' enormous, dude. Look at the size of this thing. It doesn't have to look perfect, but I'd like it to be pretty good. What's your favorite faction in Monster Train? That's a wrench, dude. So the other day I said Umbra. Today I did my first Melting Revenant run, and I might say Melting Revenant. The fact that, like, units that die come back and then come back stronger is awesome. And then on top of that, the amount of money I made on that run, like, for the final shop, I had 870 gold or something. By the way, spoilers. I make it at least to the final shop. When will the episode go live? I recorded it today. It should be live tomorrow. But it's 16 gigabytes because I was tweaking some recording settings and accidentally went a little overkill. So hopefully it doesn't take too long for YouTube to process. There's no backlog. I mean, like, I record in batches, but there's no backlog because, like the episodes are like an hour and a half long each. So it's really hard to build a backlog for that kind of series, honestly. Just downscale the video? Yeah, like, you know, instead of letting YouTube process it in half an hour, I could just re-render it in Adobe Premiere for like 6 hours and then upload it and it'll process in 15 minutes. It's an extremely good use of my time. Why not split each run into 2 videos? Because I think that makes for, like, much worse content. Full stop. I did do that the first time I played Slay the Spire. Because the runs were long, and I was like, I don't, you know, it's kind of the same principle. And I learned a lesson on it, and the lesson I learned on it was, like, people don't like this. Because they get invested in a run, they come back tomorrow, and they're like, you know, what happened? You're dead. So honestly, I'm like, I don't know where you go. I guess we just put 2 of these braced against this joist here. It is bad for discoverability too. Yeah, like a part 2 video is like dead to the algorithm. Nobody's gonna be like, ooh, an hour-long video that's part 2 of a run I've never seen in my life? Well, I guess you're just good to go, huh? All right, 3 nails. Okay. 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 I know you're like, let Winston go home. No. I will not. Well, the thing is, like, the 2-part Isaac is a different story. It's because I had to be on Check the Wire. And I put them out at the same time. Like, well, like 20 minutes apart. And that's an exceptional circumstance. Like, most Isaac runs are half an hour to an hour in length. This one was like an hour just up to the, like, the womb 1 or something. But also, I didn't even realize, new OBS, that should not happen again, because new OBS actually has a pausability. You can pause a video while recording it. Just another example of how I'm living in, or I used to be living in, like the 2nd century. It's new tech. Can 16 gigabyte Monster Train be saved? It's not broken. What are you talking about? It's just big. It can be saved. Like, do you mean saved on the app? You can save it on the app. You need to have YouTube Premium, though. But, like, on YouTube, they process it, and it'll be smaller when you load it up. When you load it up yourself, it's not going to take 16 gigabytes of your bandwidth. YouTube does some compression and post-processing stuff, so you don't have to sweat that. All right, I think we're done with ones. I think ones are under control. Okay. I think these are bad faith questions. I'm going to answer them because I feel like, oh no. I feel like I can dunk a little bit, but like, you're making me dunk. I don't want to dunk. You're making me dunk. Why not compress it a little bit to make it upload faster? I have like 1 gigabit per second fiber. So like, I'm not going to re-render something for 2 hours to save, 5 minutes on the upload time. That's the answer. But I feel like you didn't want an answer. I felt like you just wanted to be like, here's how I would do it, and you posed it as a question. I feel like you posed it as a question, So you have the advantage of it looking like a suggestion, when really it was more like, here's what I would do if I was in your position. That's my quest, or that's my assumption about that. Yeah, my dude's really strong. Don't sweat it. He can yeet a piece of drywall onto the roof. It's no problem. Get out of here. You left a little garbage behind, but you know what? Excuse me? He won't take the... They won't take the plaster? There you go. That one will work. Come on, dude. Come on. Oh, Winston was there, so they couldn't send it. Okay, okay, okay. Makes perfect sense. Jesus Christ. I spent 13% of my daily energy just trying to take out the trash. Sounds like a millennial. Dude! Look at that. It's Andre 3000's birthday today. Happy birthday, Andre 3000. Happy birthday. We stan a creative, modern-day prince. I'm all 6s and 7s. So we need 7, 7, 7, 7. So we need at least one order of 7s. I think we need 6 7s, which is a little complicated. No, we need 8 7s. But we don't have any money, so we gotta work for a day. What is... this is a real question. What does Austin Powers mean when he says she's all 6s and 7s? I know it means she's nuts, but like, what does it mean? Like, why 6s and 7s? It's just slang for crazy. 6s and 7s may also mean a state of disagreement between two people that dates back to at least the 1300s. Oh my god. You know what? What I can realize here from all the yeeted comments, and I do appreciate the yeeted comments. It was good faith. It's just Moobot's a little bit, you know, fascist. It seems like it's an idiom invented by the English, which is really just say no more. Now that I know that, and it makes perfect sense. Now that I know that it's English invented by the English, I know that it's not to be analyzed because the analysis is not going to make sense at the end of the day anyway. Alright, take me back to Lakeside, please. Baby, take me back to the Lakeside. I want to order some 7s and 6s. Remember that song? Riptide? You hear that about 4 or 5 years ago? Heard that song 73 times a day in the summer. We need 2 orders of 7. How's the summer, Steely? Dude, it's pretty good. I didn't get a chance to talk about Asia yesterday, but what a song. I've had Deacon Blues and Asia stuck in my head for about a full week now. Specifically the part where he goes, up on the hill, they think I'm okay. And then he goes, Chinese music sets me free. Angular banjos sound good to me. And I'm like, what the hell is this dude talking about? But then he goes on like a 9-minute improvised guitar solo with jazz undertones. And I'm like, this shit rips, dude. It rips to an extreme degree. I didn't realize. I thought Steely Dan was just dadcore. But I'm realizing, dude, you're gonna hear it here first, alright? I don't care who hears it. Steely Dan is kind of prog. They're like one step away from prog. They're not quite like Yes or Rush, but they're more of jazz prog than like Dungeons and Dragons prog, but they're close. They are way more prog than The Who. I love The Who, but they are way more prog than The Who. You lost me? How so? Is there anything else to do after we get the plaster up? Like, I'm worried we're gonna tap out on Landlord Super real quick. You have to paint? That makes sense. I'm not gonna rush through it. I just don't know how much is left. This place is looking downright livable. I think you do need furniture, I'll admit, but what about any electrical work? It's the 80s, dude. It's all kerosene lamps, crank-powered radios. Exactly. You just market it as a place for college students to live. They don't know the proper channels to go in for their grievances, so you can really get away with, you know, breaking a lot of laws. But it's kind of like a two-way street, because, like, you put them in, like, a house that's kind of, like, run down, and then they treat it like garbage, so they, like, maybe put some damage to it. But then you go, like, you know, what did I expect? You know, you roll around the mud, you're gonna get dirty. Yo, it's springtime. Uh-oh. Looking for a house as a college student, and this is very true. So I thought I was like a pretty good negotiator, because I went with my parents to like a lot of showings for houses when I was a kid, which I hated every second of. But then when I was in college, I was like, this skill could come in handy. And so me and my friends, you know, we're looking at places to rent for college. And then he says, you guys got any questions? And I go, yeah, we're interested, but we'd really, like, it's a little bit out of our budget. Any chance you could budge on this price to get this deal signed today? And the guy went, no. And I said, all right. And then we talked for about 2 minutes. And me and my friends talked for about 2 minutes. And we went, we'll take it. That's a that particular rental area is a it's a seller's market. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, pretty much like all of Canada is a seller's market for renting. Vacancy rates are so low in the cities that like just getting into a place is like a dream. And then if you find a place that like legally allows pets, you're like, I'll even give you extra. I'll throw in a little tip for my landlord just for making this easy. No, in BC they don't have to allow pets legally. In Ontario you do. I don't know about the other provinces, but you know, I don't just say this to get the credit from the radicals in chat. For the most part, I operate within the rules of the system. But as far as like having like a single pet or maybe like 2 cats to not be super hypocritical, I wouldn't say I support breaking your lease to just get pets, but I'm also like, I mean, I can't deny that I did it. I've told the story many times, but you know, I feel like having a pet within reason is I treat it as a human right. So when our last place, well, 2 places ago, didn't allow pets, we just got pets anyway. And then when we moved out, our landlord was like, hey, there's a little bit of cat hair. Did you have pets? And we went, yeah, we have cats. And then she went, you're not supposed to have cats. It's no pets allowed. And I went, oh. You know, we're gone. She still I mean, she probably could have kept some of our security deposit or damage deposit, but she gave it all back because we didn't do any damage because we're responsible, but should have told her it was your hair. All right, sir, you can get out of here. I'm only letting you go, though, because I need you to come back with some more stuff, okay? Don't get me right. Like, here's the thing, okay? I also understand that, like, look, it's not fair, because there is some really shitty tenants, right? Like, tenants that'll just let their pets piss everywhere, like, smash stuff, and, you know, like, just dick you around. But I really, really feel like that's an incredibly small percentage of tenants. So I'm like, why did 95% of the people on planet Earth that rent get fucked because 5% of people are, you know, can't be trusted to live in a society with the rest of us, you know? 95% of people are being punished because landlords are like, oh, one time I heard a story from somebody that a drug addict rented their place and it was fricked up. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not like a drug addict. I just want to have 2 cats and like a roof over my head. Once bitten, twice shy. I got this something, something why. Frostbitten, twice shy. What about tenants who shart? Well, you should really be... I didn't even look at how many we need. You should really be mad if you're the tailor. I don't think it's the landlord's problem. Alright, so we got 1 6. 1 6. So that should actually be... No, it's only 3 6s because this doesn't have an opposite side that's exposed. 3 6s. 2 3s. 3 6s, 2 3s, and we're done? $3'6" like your height. It's not even, doesn't even make any sense. Can now I got a real question for you, okay? And this, I will let you know, this question may make me seem like a bad guy with a bad take to start with, okay? But I'm bringing it up to learn and to get a different perspective, not to be mean-spirited. But yesterday night, Cade and I were watching TV, and there's a show called Seven Little Johnstons. And it's a TLC show, so you know there's going to be like a theme here. And this theme is a family, and they're all short, right? My question is, who cares? Because, like, I was watching the show, and they were just doing an escape room, and I was like, I'm just watching people do an escape room. Like, this isn't even, like, if I had an interest in, like, oh, I wonder how life would be different, you know, if I was living like this. The answer is, it's the exact same. They were just solving puzzles inside of an escape room. Why were you watching it? Because I was like, I turned it on to be like, why do people watch this? And then I watched it for 5 minutes, and I changed the channel, and my conclusion was, I don't know. They didn't get me. I didn't even, as soon as the ads came, I changed the channel. They didn't make a dime off of me. I just don't understand the purpose of the show. But then there was another show that was coming on next. I don't remember, but it's the same as, it's TLC, right? So, like, I mean, you know where this is going. It was like a mom and a dad. They had like 15 kids, and I was like, fuck off. I'm like, I feel, judging from the picture, it looked like they had like 4 kids, and then they had sextuplets. Because sextuplet was in the name of the show. And I feel for you in that case. If you're like, you know what? I mean, 4 kids is a lot. But then to be like, you know, we're going to have a 5th kid, and then the doctor's like, surprise, you got 6 babies in you. That sucks. That's terrible luck. But I'm also like, come on. That's just, like, your life isn't hard enough. You want to film it all too? I don't even like having display capture on my monitors. What am I doing, dude? Okay, hold on. So we bought 6s, right? What do you think about TLC's Long Island Medium? Look. I've said this before about, like, astrology and stuff, too, right? You like what you like. And if you treat it as, like, entertainment, then that's cool. I got no problem with that. Like professional wrestling, right? If you're, like, entertained by that stuff, that's okay. But, I mean, she's not talking to the dead. Come on, man. You think dead people, they could talk to any human being on planet Earth? They chose Long Island Medium. They looked at humanity, and all of them said, that's my girl right there. None of them wanted to talk to, like, you know, the General Secretary of the United Nations to tell them something important. They all went, get in line for Long Island Medium. I've got to send her a message about a birthday. Is there something about a birthday? I'm trying to get this message about, tell Long Island Medium about the time my daughter gave me a train for my birthday. Did you give your father a toy train for your birthday? Oh my God, I did. I'm just picturing, like, the ghosts are like Twitch chat. They're like, yes! The medium read my message. Let's go. Poggers. We need one more 6. You're right. Like, you're a ghost. I get it. You can only talk to mediums, but come on. You're really going to go to Long Island Medium? There's not ghosts or spirits that are like, you know, that place is packed. I'm gonna go to a less popular medium. Like sometimes I'm like, I want to go to this restaurant, and I walk up to the door, and I'm like, oh, absolutely not. We'll just go to the place down the street. Here's the thing. I would respect shows like that more if they were like, if there was ever a revelation like, John killed me, you know? But it's always like, hey, did your dad get you like a pink balloon at some point? And the lady's like, oh my god, he did. It's just like, I don't think ghosts should be so trivial. I'd like, why don't the ghosts ever have incredible revelations? It's always just like, you know, I'm getting a pair of big eyeballs. Oh my god, my dad's favorite episode of the Guinness World Records television show was that one where the lady popped her eyeballs out. It's him. It's him. Oh, he's gone. Or maybe it's different. Maybe, like, the communication goes the other way. So, like, the ghosts are just chilling, having a good time. And then Long Island Medium is spiritually like, hello, hello. I have your aunt. Your aunt doesn't have closure on you yet. And you're like, oh, what the fuck? What do I do? And they're like, just tell her a story about your favorite dinner that she cooked and she'll go away. And they're like, yeah, there's a picture of pork chops. Oh my god, he loved when I made him those pork chops. Yeah, that'll buy you some time. She won't come back for another week. You can go. Sure, dude. Just leave your shit here. I will say, there's some, like, Long Island Medium. If it weren't a TLC show, would be a great title for, like, a Decemberist song. It does have a nice quality to the words. But then, I don't know, like, there's another show on TLC, I think it's called Nailed. And it's just about, like, this Jersey Shore family who runs, like, a nail salon. But, like, in all the commercials I've ever seen, they're not even, like, doing nails. They're just yelling at each other around the dinner table. They really should call it Fucked. Because it seems like that's what their family dynamic is. Sorry. 3-3. Dude, we need one order of threes, and I think we got this thing under control. When are you watching Dark? I've been watching a little bit more TV lately. Now that I'm, you know, Checkpoint League is over for now, I have, like everything, just getting that little... It's like my whole work week was squeezed. I was getting no water. Just the slightest release of tension. Now I'm getting some water. I'm able to backlog. I got some more free time. I can work on other projects, you know? So I'm watching more TV. So maybe I can start watching Dark soon. It is on the list. I'm not fucking with Apollo. It's on the list. It's probably like number... It's number 1 or number 2. I do want to watch The Last Dance as well. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's not over, you're just out. It's true. You got me on that one. That is the literal truth. You know what? So I haven't watched The Last Dance, right? Obviously, because I just mentioned that. But, like... The thing, so I know that like there's the conspiracy now that some Utah Pizza Hut staff poisoned Michael Jordan before the flu game. I'm more like, man, the 90s were like some serious... It was a different era where like, you know, prior to one of the most important games of the season, you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna have a pizza. The Chicago Bulls didn't like employ a nutritionist who was like, you need a perfectly balanced meal. He's like, nah, dude, just call up Pizza Hut and get a couple of meat lovers and bring them on over. Dude, we were watching, and this is like a very Canadian / niche bit, right? But we were watching Sportsnet, which is like a Canadian ESPN last night, because they've been playing these retro NHL games, which is really cool to watch for a little bit, at least, just to see what it's like, or how things have changed. So we were watching, like, Game 1 of the 1991 playoffs, Calgary versus Edmonton, right? I just realized, as I was watching this, I was like, how did anyone score a goal in the NHL prior to 2004-2005 lockout? Literally, if someone was faster than you, you just took your stick and like took the blade of your stick, hooked it around their torso, and just pulled them back. And then you just like, or you could trip them, you could interfere, you could do whatever you wanted to do. You could slash them. It didn't matter. They basically didn't call any penalties. By 2020 NHL standards, I saw maybe like 3 penalties per play. But they still, it was a high score, well, it was a reasonably high scoring game because the goalies didn't even know how to play hockey back then. That was only 30 years ago. The goalies didn't know how to save. They were standing straight up on every single play, and then someone would shoot the puck from like the blue line, and they'd just be like, you can't stop it. It's not possible, dude. Like, how am I supposed to... You see how fast that thing's moving? It can't be done. You can't hit what you can't see. Alright. Like, see, watch like 5 minutes of a hockey game from 1991. It's insanity. The one, I will say, big ups to Grant Fuhr. He was playing an okay game. And he got scored on by Al McInnes. But Al McInnes had like a 110-mile-an-hour slap shot. You just allow it. God, this is a disaster. But I'm like, man, being talented in the NHL in 2020 has got to be 100 times better than it was in 1991. Because if you were good in 1991, some like 6'8" idiot would just concuss you and be like, not so good now, right? Now, like, if you're better, they kind of gotta let you get away. If someone's faster than you, you can't just like slash him on the ankles and shatter his tibia, you know? You gotta be like, there he goes. All right, so we gotta go back to town here and see what else there is to do. Hello, sir. Can you help me out? You can focus on moving in furniture now. Really? We don't have any floors. The floors are just straight concrete, dude. It's not a loft. It's not cute. It's just cold. You can order from the furniture catalog. You could also go to the Berklands. I know there's a TV over here somewhere. Let me see what we need here. Install cooker. You know what? Let me. How much does an oven cost, dude? Also, where do I buy an oven? It's another book at the phone booth. All right, we'll work today then. How much a dollar really cost? I go hard when that song comes on in my car. I'm not gonna sing it for you now, because honestly, the only words I know are words I don't say. Wasn't that Obama's favorite song? Excuse me. Obama's favorite song is All Right, which is a better song. They're both great, but All Right is like an actual classic. We can run. How much a dollar costs is the best on the album? I disagree. It's really good, though. I mean, I think All Right is best on the album. But, like, there's a lot of great stuff in there. That's undeniable. I can't run anymore. It's too late to be driving. You're under curfew. No, if I jump, I'm gonna pass out. There's a good bid there. How much an American dollar really costs, and it's like $1.37. Hey, there, it's IKEA. Wow, it's like it's a downpour. Go shower, stinky. I do have flies coming off of me. 60 euros! 60 pounds, sorry. Yeah, Malf and I, actually now that today's Wednesday, right? Yeah. Malf and I will be starting the recording for our Super Mega Baseball 3 series on Friday. I'm excited. Don't buy it. I'm gonna buy it. You know, if I'm gonna be a parasite, I'm at least gonna contribute to the economy, okay? We're not gonna play on 99 ego. We'll probably play on like 60 ego or something. There goes Dark. No, I'm pretty sure there's no other jobs in the job center. I think they put that, there for like placeholder text for when early access changes. But for now, it's just, no, I'm not going to check. I don't want to waste my energy. There is no, so here's the thing. I'm going to give you some sweet stuff about Super Mega Baseball 3. It does have franchise. It doesn't have co-op franchise. So for co-op, it's still only one season. However, they're also adding, supposedly this summer, they're adding online seasons. So right now they have co-op. Don't quote me on this. This is what I saw from a comment somewhere that was like a developer update or something. So I apologize if I'm misquoting it. But the idea behind an online season is that we could get more content creators together and actually have like maybe 4 people play not all in the same video, but they'd all be playing as their teams against the AI and also sometimes other players. And we would have like stats and stuff like that built into the game. So again, don't quote me on that. But if that happens this summer, I would 100% take advantage of that. Oh, it's open. I have done a couple of the Monster Train dailies. I did today's Monster Train daily, actually. But I stupidly kept taking units that, like, need fuel. And one of the abilities, or one of the mutators, was, like, when you summon a unit... oh, we want to go hard on this one. The first unit you summon every turn gets doubled. And then I took units that need fuel, but when you summon 2 units that need fuel, only the first one can gorge and get the fuel. So I was like, it's a disaster. But the fact that they let you get stupid like that is great stuff. I really appreciated that game. The way they put their own spin on Slay the Spire, not by like, hey, you can like roll dice. They put their own spin on Slay the Spire by being like, oh yeah, you're like, you're 5/8 unit. By the end of the first fight, or the first shop, it's gonna be like, I don't know, 70-200. I'm not hating on Dicey. Alright, free money. I'm just saying, some of you don't watch Northernlion Tries, and it shows. No, Dicey is a great game. I would like a gas cooker, please. What's the actual best deck builder of 2020? That's tough. I would preface this by saying Monster Train and Eden are both extremely great. But I do think... I think Monster Train is just a little bit better. It's like, it's part of the reason is, like, it's so much easier to play. Like, it's a much more casual experience. What about Grifflands? Grifflands isn't out yet. Are you the kitchen? Are you the are you the kitchen? Do we choose where the kitchen is? Alright, well, where would we want the kitchen? I would say, you know, you got like a little corridor area here. This to me is like a living room, because you got a fireplace in here. And then you don't really a kitchen on the... You could have a kitchen that faces outside like this. Then while you put the sink here, and while you're doing the dishes, you get to look out the front window and see your kids playing in the yard. I think this is normal. It is a little narrow, but it's like it's a galley kitchen. The one where you can see their kitchen through their front window. I'm finished. You can go now. It's the gulag. Yo, I didn't realize we still had this much content left. And it's a good thing. I'm not complaining. I just thought we would boot it up today, put the plaster up, and it would be over. Gunpoint! You're absolutely right. That was the game I was thinking of. You need a table. Sure, that's no problem. I was thinking about gunpoint. I hate Fell. Fell is the worst boss, I think. But maybe I only hate Fell because Fell usually kills me, and thus I haven't experienced the main boss that much. Or the big boss. The one thing that sucks... Well, let's not say sucks. That's more hard than I want to go. I do wish, and maybe it'll happen in the future, that Monster Train had more enemy and boss variety. That's my, like... In Slay the Spire, people got, like... They kind of roasted it a little bit because there were only 3 bosses per floor. You don't even realize, like, until now, 3 bosses per floor was actually, like, pretty good. That way, you know, your runs got pretty different based on the bosses you drew, and you didn't know what you were going to draw until it was later. Random modifiers, that's true. That adds a little something something. I guess they do have alts. But more enemy and more boss variety would be sweet. But it's, you know, it's still amazing. What am I doing in-game? I am being a wage slave so that I can buy furniture for my tenants to enjoy. Slay the Spire or Monster Train? You don't want to ask me the question, because honestly, like, there are maybe, like, less than 10 games on the whole planet I would recommend more than Slay the Spire. I really think Slay the Spire is one of the best games ever made, and I still think people are sleeping on it, believe it or not. Even though it's... I'll get you a medium table. Large is sometimes too large. But small, come on. You might want company over at some point. Anyway, Slay the Spire is just amazing. It's just such a great, pure deck builder. Yeah, Verdi #1. Yo, what are these shoes, dude? You're wearing 2 loaves of rye bread. Double Switch #2. I mean, you don't want me to say this again, but like Double Switch may right now be one of my favorite games ever made. That will probably change, but this is a medium table. It's like it's shorter than the oven. Now I know you're gonna be like, why put the table here? I live with one other person, and we've lived in some small places. Straight up. I know how to use space fairly effectively. So you might pick this up and move it a little bit, to be honest. But I think, you know, I want it in a place where, you know, 2 people can sit. Like, I don't want to just put it like, blah. Look at that. Oh, hey, welcome to my home. Excuse me. Oh, could you pull in? Could you pull in? Could you pull in? Could you pull it? Like, I think that sucks. And I don't think this house is big enough to really have a dedicated dining room. So for me personally, and it's my house, so, you know, frig you, basically. I honestly, the only reason I don't like it here is because there's a sink here. But, or we're planning on putting a sink there. So we could put it in the living room and they could eat all of their meals while watching TV. Sure, let's do that. I'm finished. You can go now. What are you going to do with a tiny back room? It's not for me, it's for the tenants. So someone told me you can pass time by pissing. Alright. That was not pissing, but it's okay. He probably did piss, I'll admit. Oh, we don't even know what we need yet. So why am I providing furniture for my tenants? You really just buy like a bunch of cheap shit and then you can market it as furnished. And even if there's like 100 pounds worth of furniture in there, you can charge an extra 75 pounds a month because it's furnished. So it's really just another marketing technique for us. What good is a table without a chair? You're absolutely right. This part of the game feels a little bit like padding. Everything else was like, here's 70 steps for your next thing. This part is like, get a chair. Okay, I got a chair. Run back to town. Get a fucking, I don't know, get a couch. Okay, I'll go get the freaking couch. There you go. I'll go get the freaking couch. Like, why? Just give me the list. I'm gonna do you one better. Oh, we can only buy one. There you go. Come on. Come on. Guests bring their own chair. Absolutely. Amazing. It's not even strapped down. Does this thing weigh like 800 pounds? Guys will really live in an apartment that looks like this and think it's okay. Alright, we got the talk. You can go home. That's me. If I didn't live with Kate, my office would probably have like $2,500 worth of furniture, and the rest of my home would probably have a sum total of like $200. I would have like a nice desk chair, a nice desk, and then maybe a nice bed, and everything else would be like, this is where my living room would be if I had a couch and a table and a TV. Now we will head back into town. Please don't tell people I live like this. Alright, what do you need me to buy now, sir? A cupboard. Alright. I feel like I don't need him for this part. I feel like I know what goes into a house. I just don't know what I need to put into the house for tenants to accept it, for the game to accept it. Alright, a cupboard, please. I mean, he said cupboard. I'm assuming cabinets and cupboards are the same thing. But not drawers. I think like a corner cabinet? Yeah, so you can see the fine china in there. I moved recently and I don't even use most of the rooms. We have one room in our house that we don't use, but it's the baby's room. And I'm so, I mean, I guess we planned it like this, but I'm so glad we're not living in our old place where literally it was like 580 square feet. would have been a tight squeeze. I hate the layout of this place. God, that's hideous. What is this? Does it... Hold on. Yeah, okay. That's... I mean, that's a little high. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. There's a vent fan in there. Over the cooker? What's the problem? You just install a range hood in there and you're okay. Can live with this. Alright. Although it is facing, like, the wrong way. This is what we want. It's hard to manipulate this into the right position. I guess cabinets don't have to go all the way up to the ceiling. Ah, but they look nice. Let's be honest, nobody's ever going to have to actually interact with this thing. You don't put it on the floor. Like, that's just asking for trouble. Sorry, my camera was shaking because Ruka was scratching himself on the cat tower. And the cat tower touches my desk. That's the amount of torque this muscular boy can generate. You're screwing the screws into nothing. I didn't really think about that, but it appears to be working, so who's the loser now? The tenant. You know what? You're right. What? Like, so I'm the bad guy for renting out a 100-pound flat. Sorry, let me rephrase. I'm the bad guy for renting out a 100,000-pound flat for 2,000 pounds a month. Like, if you want to not get ripped off, why don't you just get 100,000 pounds and buy a place like this for yourself, dummy? Why didn't you think of that? Just ask your parents. And if they won't just give you the money, then just go, how about an interest-free loan, Mom? Just dip into your escrow fund. I'm providing an essential service. I really like, okay, I'll admit, some of this anti-landlord rhetoric is just to appeal to chat. Most of the time in my life, I have had good landlords. I know people are going to be like, that's an oxymoron. But I've had genuinely good landlords. I have had some slightly scummy landlords as well. I think it's like tenants, you know? You can get good ones, you can get bad ones. Now, at the same time, if you know, buy a place and then, you know, you're paying off the mortgage and you're charging for rent the same price as your mortgage, and then you use that cash flow to go to the bank and go, hey, because I've got this cash flow, now would you give me another mortgage on the next place? And the bank goes, that sounds cool as shit. So then you'd use that to daisy chain up another house, and now you got 2 houses. You get a tenant in there, they're paying your second place's mortgage. You go to the bank with the third, you go, look at all this cash flow I got, give me a third mortgage. They go, you got cash coming out of your whatever. Then you get 6 more places, you convert 2 of them into Airbnbs, you got 6 houses, and then all of a sudden, a black swan event comes out, like the, coronavirus, and you're like, there's nothing I could do, dude. Why won't the government help me? That's where I start to get a little bit annoyed. But, like somebody who owns 1 or 2 places and being a good landlord, I got no problem with that. So I just installed a cupboard, but then he said, install a cupboard. Hold on. "1X kitchen cupboard." Kitchen cabinet. Kitchen cabinet. Sink cabinet? I can't afford that shit. Are you crazy? Take me back. Take me back. You can get a bed by the train rails. I believe the term for that is minkus. When Rob's not here, I can say my real political opinions. Because when I say my real political opinions, and Rob's here, we agree too much, and then I'm like, oh, we're not fairly representing both sides of the issue. When there's only one of us, it's acceptable. That's the way I choose to look at it. Yes, he has hotter takes. I would agree with that. For sure. But like in principle, if he like held a gun to my head, I'd be like, I agree. Okay. Let me see here. So we're gonna get a sink cabinet. I don't think this is what they want, but it's what we're gonna try to get anyway. We'll see. How do you think Canada's handling the COVID stuff? I've been telling my parents every time I have a phone call with them, I'm like, I've never felt prouder to mail in my my tax installments. I'm like, the money's just going directly to people who need it. They're not even filtering it through like 78 levels of bureaucracy first. They're just like giving it to people who say they need it because of an extraordinary circumstance. I'm like, that's the dream. Now, I will say, once this stuff is over, everybody who got it, but not only didn't need it, but was still making money hand over fist, I hope they get audited into oblivion. I hope they just fucking go crazy on them. But That's probably good enough. Beautiful. It's not even hooked up to the water line to begin with, so who cares? We'll just install like a backsplash there. Like a styrofoam backsplash. It'll look nice. We'll spray paint it. It'll be straight out of HGTV. And then take a little dump. Just giving the rats a place to live. Oh my god. What the hell is a kitchen cupboard, dude? Why do we have so many names for the same thing? Spending all my money on shit they don't even need, like a sink. Just working out. Staying fresh. I did see Vancouver was also on the short list to host the revised NHL playoff games for the West Coast. And I'm like, that would be... It's weird because you couldn't even go to the games because there's no spectators, right? But like... I'm like, that would be sweet. Regardless. But I'm also like, they're going to give that shit to Edmonton. 100%. There is a 0% chance that shit is not going to Edmonton. It said cupboard when you picked it up. Let's go. Edmonton, not just for the conspiracy theories. Like, Edmonton has a brand new, like, arena area. Plus, you know, they're a higher seed. They're expected to go further. They got Connor McDavid. They're, you know, they're a more natural choice than Vancouver, I'll admit. Plus, I think they are also pretty, unravaged by the virus. So is Vancouver, to be fair. But, like, Edmonton is, they got more state-of-the-art facilities. We've done it, boys. Why is that a conspiracy theory? Well, it's just like I wouldn't call it a conspiracy theory, but, like, Edmonton hockey fans have just had it too easy. And if you're like, well, we had 10 years of being bad. I saw a stat yesterday that was like, the Oilers have been in the league for 40 years, and they've had 10 MVP winners. There's 31 teams in the NHL. You do the math. Now, there weren't 31 teams when they started. When they came into the league, there were probably only like 20, but still. Literally once every 4 seasons, they've won the MVP. They've had an MVP on their team. Now, most of them were Gretzky, admittedly. But still. I mean, again, they've also been in the league for 40 years. They've won like 7 Stanley Cups or something. So basically, and plus they were bad for a long time due to executive incompetence, and then they got Connor McDavid, who is like the next, maybe not Wayne Gretzky, but like the next #1 superstar in the NHL. In fact, he's there already, and yet still they're like, you know, ooh, don't make fun of us. We had 2 bad seasons recently. Come on, get over yourself. Let me out. Dude, we gotta pivot soon. I really didn't think it would take us an hour and a half. Let me rephrase. I didn't realize there was still more than an hour and a half left. McDavid's insane. Dude, I took my parents to see the Canucks play the Oilers when they were here in December. If I remember correctly, we lost 2-1, and both of the Oilers' goals were scored by Draisaitl from Connor McDavid on the power play. I was pissed. I was like, we lost in the most boring way possible. Take a penalty. One of the league's best power plays comes on. And McDavid's just like, oh, here's a wizard pass. And Draisaitl's like, here's a 180-kilometer-an-hour slap shot to put it in the back of the net. What are you supposed to do? 1x sync. You know what, buddy? I'll have you know, I already have 1x sync. You know what? If you gotta do it, you gotta do it. Unity yesterday was so pog. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a pretty pog Unity yesterday. It had its ups and downs, but there were some big ups for sure. This side doesn't even open, boys. Oh my god. It's better. I like when you tilted Apollo with the sprays. I've realized that now I have like... We have the mix of Zane and skill that we always looked for in PUBG. Now I don't feel bad about tilting Apollo because I'm also putting up like, you know, 4, 5, 6 kills a game sometimes if we go long. So I feel like now that I'm holding him up a little bit more, not holding him up, but giving him more support than I've ever given him, I can also ask for a little bit more in return. I can be like, hey, now that I'm getting some kills, any chance you could oblige me with the sprays here? And then we get that good back and forth dynamic that's going well. This is the give and take. Hello. Yeah, I'm getting pretty good. I'm getting pretty good at Warzone. I feel much more confident, for sure. Oh. Nice drip. I do. I do like that. We're in, boys. Kate, I've almost finished Landlord Super. Fake whoa. Fake whoa. That's like... That's a patronizing whoa. That's like, my husband wants me to be impressed, so I'll pretend. Whoa. Ah, you're right. I should have pretended to believe that you were sincere. We could have had a shared delusion there. It would have made us both happier. You're right. Chad says it's good practice for when Luna's a little older. She brings back a drawing that looks like absolutely nothing and is like, I drew our family at kindergarten today. You're like, wow. That's amazing. Really? It's so metaphorical. I haven't really... okay, so if you're... consider this due warning, because I do want to talk about this subject. This is not, like, not safe for work content, but if you are watching this with a child under the age of 12, pause the stream for 5 minutes or remove them from the room. I don't want to create a rude awakening here, okay? But I want to talk about it, but I don't want to, like, get a tweet from somebody that's like, you ruined this thing for me, okay? So I'm going to give you like a little bit here. 3, 2, 1, go. People have been like, what are you going to tell your kid about Santa Claus? And I'm like, I don't want someone to watch this with like their 10-year-old and or like 6-year-old and their 6-year-old's like, what? But I don't know. It depends on it. It depends. But like, I think you have to tell your kid that Santa Claus is real. It's like herd immunity. Because you don't want your kid to go to school. Yo, that's exactly what Kate said. Let's go. We didn't collaborate on this at all. But you don't want your kid to go to school and be like, guess what? You know, Santa Claus isn't real. But it's super weird that we're all telling all of our kids the same lie. Just so that some of the parents are like, I'm feeling like most parents would probably be like, you know, I don't really mind if my kid doesn't know Santa's not real. But there's like 5 parents in a 30-kid class, and the other 25 are just accommodating them. That's the way I'm thinking about it. Oh, that's a great idea. Kate said any excuse you could use to have your child behave. So you can be like, you know, especially in like November, December, you could be like, hey, if you're like that, Santa is going to put you on the naughty list. That sounds that's so much more good cop than like, hey, if you keep fucking around, I'm not going to buy you anything for Christmas. That's way more mean-spirited. Yeah, we can just introduce them to Winterklaas, or like Snicterklaas, whatever his name is. Remember we had that Icelandic tour guide? In Iceland, our Santa is Snicterklaas. He comes around every year in Reykjavik. You place a single tangerine in your fireplace, and then he steals the children and their spirits, and he gives you a shiny rock. Isn't that cute? Wait, we have so much money. Why was I waiting? European Christmas in history is fucked up, dude. It was always like, yeah, it's Santa Claus now. He comes and gives you presents, but like it's based on a dude from the Black Plague era that like murdered a bunch of kids. But kids were having nightmares, so instead we were like, the serial killer is gonna give you presents, and then that's what you celebrate today. You're like, what the hell? Okay, I'm gonna install this toilet, then we're gonna pivot. Then we're gonna pivot. Yeah, absolutely. Minecraft Dungeons. Mine diamonds. Mine diamonds. How do you feel about the story of Jesus Christ? I mean, that's one of those things that I think like people are like, oh, if we get this streamer to answer this, he's gonna get in trouble. I don't consider it controversial. I don't believe there was a man who turned water into wine. I don't believe in the literal Jesus Christ story. And I also, like, my grandparents had a painting of Jesus in their house. I gotta tell you, that dude was whiter than me, which makes no sense. Even as a kid, I was like, this dude lived like in the Sinai Peninsula or something. It just doesn't make any sense. And I'm just gonna install this right here because, like, you know, who cares? I don't have to live here. Oh, I didn't know you were confirmed, Kate.
It's one step higher than baptism.
Kate, have you ever eaten the wafer and drank the juice?
The juice?
I don't know. It's not wine.
Why?
It's not wine. It's
wine.
like water, food coloring, and citric acid.
I drank wine. It's not. It was
That's Martinelli's sparkling cider
No, it's not.
that our in-laws get for Thanksgiving.
It was wine.
Anyway,
But I did every misa.
I'm baptized but not confirmed, which I think means I'm still screwed. Unless, like, if I die, I can sneak in a quick confirmation in purgatory.
No. All you gotta do is before you die, you go to the confession room and say, I have missed entire life worth of misa.
Oops.
And then the Pope or the Father will be like,
Yeah, probably not the Pope.
the Father will be like, all right, you have to do this, and you just do that, and then you die right after. Then you go to heaven. Problem solved.
You really given the priests a lot of power, huh? Like, really, they're like God's regional managers.
Oh, you're right.
They don't necessarily have the final say who lives and who dies, right? Who goes to heaven and who goes to hell, and how long people spend in purgatory. That's St. Peter, who I gotta say, that dude has a lot on his plate. He needs a day off. But, I mean, they're like, learn to delegate, dude. But, like, on top of that, I'm like, they kind of, like, have a little sway, right? Like, they get a little recommendation. Like, St. Peter presumably consults the file from the district manager and is like, well, they haven't been to confession in 31 years.
If you are in confession right now, what would you confess?
I mean, I would make something up. If you were like, let's go to confession, I would make something up to tell
You
the...
can't go, let's go confession. It's not like amusement park.
Well, I don't know. I would never go, so it's a tough question.
You just ended up in confession.
I ended up in the confession booth?
Yeah.
I would make something up.
Well, what is it?
I don't know. I would be like, oh, when I was a kid, I stole my neighbor's, like, gardening tools or something like that.
As a kid?
No, like yesterday.
Yesterday? That's
Yeah.
horrible. You're a thief.
I'm making it up. No, he's not. He doesn't say that's horrible. He goes, I don't know, like 10 Hail Marys or something, right?
What the fuck is him?
He's not a cop. What is he gonna do?
He's gonna call you. He's gonna call you and then get you arrested.
He's not a cop.
Yeah, but you stole people's stuff.
Hold on, I'm pivoting games, by the way.
You can't steal people's stuff.
I know, I didn't. I made it up. Is there priest congregation privilege? Like, if you confess to a murder to your priest, is it illegal for the priest to tell the cops?